pretty sure I'm going to take a chance you can see me or see enough of me. Driving back to work, I'll take the scenic route. Just gonna let me go. Thank you. Just let me go. Alright, so I want to talk about self-fulfilling prophecy and how, you know, basically how we treat, if you treat people a certain way. I mean, I might do a live podcast, but, you know, just look up the definition of self-fulfilling prophecy. It's where you influence events to go a certain way so that you can say, see? In other words, it may not have happened that way if things were left, or if things were just left alone. But if you influence a situation a certain way, and then to get the outcome that you want, if you influence the situation in a very nonchalant, underhanded, you know what I mean, from behind the scenes, you know what I mean, or very in a very inconspicuous way, like these billboards that I showed from fatherhood.org, where they shame the men, and the other one, there's all these PSAs, they're called public service announcements, and they're just, I guess you would call it virtue signaling or something. But my point is men have to drive around all day and see billboards of battered women, see billboards on you should be a better father, right? It doesn't matter if they already are a good father and the system is flawed and hands all the children to the women. We won't talk about that, right? Because that's considered hate speech, and you hate women and you're a misogynist if and you're just a loser who went out with just one wrong woman. Oh, you got burned. People act like you could get burned 15 times, be cheated on, have your kids taken away from you, everything. They'll be like, oh, so, and then you'll see another video shaming men, saying, yeah, these guys got burned a couple times or whatever, right? They won't say, they'll just say burned. They have to use ambiguous language, because they can't say, yeah, this guy, one time a girl took both his kids, took his house, he was on Skid Row, paid, you know, he's paying child support, and if he talks about the fact that he's discriminated against, the judge will tell him he's lashing out and he can't see his kids at all. They can't say that. They just have to say he was burned. Look out for that very ambiguous language when you see these PUAs and people using shaming tactics on MGTOW and men in general. These so-called trad cons and stuff. They'll just say, oh, he was burned one time. That's like a woman saying he was aggressive in court and I'm in fear for my life. You know what I'm saying? It's just they use vague terminology, because if they use specific terminology, people will go, oh, well, so then, you know, what you're saying is you're full of crap. You know what I mean? And he has a right to be mad, or you're full of crap and, you know, he didn't attack you. You understand what I'm saying? In those two examples I gave. So the self-fulfilling prophecy is if you keep treating men like that, and then even having these very, like I said, ambiguous billboards that just say things like "number dad jokes rule," so it looks like, oh yeah, they're trying to be pro-father, and you know what I mean, and get kids to like their father, right? But you know, that's very, you know what I'm saying? That it's like, why would you even need a billboard like that? You know what I mean? It's like, basically, if you keep shaming men for things like he might, like I said, some guy might already be being a good dad and whatever, and was it dance like a dad and all that stuff. You notice that through process of, it's almost lying through omission. You know what I mean? Like, how about talk about the father's real role, which is the protector and the provider, you know what I mean, and the disciplinarian. Like, yeah, so what? Dads aren't here to be clowns. That's what, like, basically what I'm talking about what they're omitting, in both of those is dad, just be a clown. Both of those relate to dad as a clown. Dad's here to entertain you. So 2 public service announcements on a different part of town, pretty close together, that I see all the time. I drove, I could have turned right and went right by the other billboard, and neither of them talk about the more important role a father has, you know what I mean, which is defending the family, providing for the family, and the reason they can't say that is because the police do that now. Like over in the UK, you're not allowed to defend yourself anymore. You could go to jail. You better be careful. If you use a weapon to defend yourself, you could go to jail. So, my point being is, if you keep shaming men like that, then you can say when one guy, if in other words, with mixed signals, one's saying take care of your mom, the other one's saying, and then society's saying, well, only losers stay home and live with their parents and all this stuff. And then you'll get these incels that or these, in other words, these young men that they can't, if you're sending them mixed signals, it'll be impossible for them to live up to society's expectations of them. Oh, do this, but don't do it. We're gonna have billboards to tell them to do it, but then we're gonna show men in the media, or then we're gonna have our talking heads in the media talk about how nice guys finish last. You understand what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Like, that's a nice guy that lives with mom, takes care of her. That's called a nice guy, and we all know that nice guys finish last. So when a TFL, or someone, a TFL, true force loneliness guy, or an incel, or somebody like that is having problems, and he can't live up, he's getting mixed signals, maybe one of them will snap, right? Maybe one of them will snap and then shoot up the classroom or go on a killing spree, and then what? Then you can say, oh, see, we told you, guys like that are dangerous. We told you, Miss Johnson, your son was a, was a high, high risk individual with problems. That's the self-fulfilling prophecy, and I'm at work, and I hope you're getting the point of what I'm saying. If you keep shaming men, sending them mixed signals through public service announcements and through society and the media, then when one snaps and shoots up the classroom or something, then we can go, see, we told you, we were right. You know what I mean? If you constantly shame white males to not be racist, but then have the black activists saying, yeah, you think you're the black savior, when white males try to be nice to black people and help them out, like, oh, we don't need your help, black savior, you know what I mean? Then you, once again, so I can't please anybody, then, and that, you know what I mean? And then some kid snaps, and then it's, oh, see, we told you. So you have to look out for the self-fulfilling prophecy, and that's what's going on. They're sending mixed signals and unrealistic expectations of males. The guy taking care of his mother on that billboard, who cares if he's in debt for child support? They took his license away. You know what I mean? He got a DUI one time because he was 0.02% over the limit or something, or you understand what I'm saying? And he can't take care of his mother. He'll be shamed by the billboards, and hey, maybe he'll snap and punch somebody around that's looking down on him and ruining his reputation in the town. And then, oh, back to jail. You understand what I'm saying? And, oh, see, we told you, you were dangerous. He was dangerous. Do you see how this all works? So that's a message from the MGTOW Misfit, over and out. Peace. Peace.